So I got a question from Linda on my Discord server about my changing identity with chronic illness and my ups and downs along the way. And to summarize it, I think the best way to describe my sense of identity shifting is being someone that was a victim to somebody that accepted the cards have been dealt and moved forward, understanding that consciously, in my conscious experience in this very moment, when I was 24, this is where I'm at. This is where my life has led to this point, as shameful as it may be or as difficult it is to accept. That is my conscious experience in this moment. And I have two choices going forward. Do I wallow and look at everything wrong with my life and my health and everything else, or do I try and move forward for a different future? I would go, so-and-so's not chronically ill, he's got a terrible lifestyle, why should I have to change? All these things that do not help. My main question when you talking to yourself in your head is, how is this helping me? A lot of the time it's really not. So that was the mindset I was in. I was completely victimized of all the hardships that I felt I didn't deserve. To accepting those hardships and going, you know what, if I work hard, I'm suffering anyway, so if I really dedicate myself to something, maybe the conscious experience I will have in a year will be a better one. And that was the shift for me. Because there are two choices in this moment. You can either change things or continue as is. And you're suffering anyway. You are suffering every day anyway. And as difficult it is to be disciplined about the things you know are good for you, it's very difficult where you are anyway. In a different kind of way. You're suffering and you have such anxiety about the future, and to be honest, it's rightly so. If I was 24 years old, never had a job, never had a girlfriend, never had a life of any kind, and I was anxious that that could be my future, absolutely right, I should be anxious about that. That is not a worthwhile life for myself. So that anxiety is there for a reason in a lot of ways. Just making that choice in the moment to accept the cards have been dealt, accept that right now this is where I'm at, whether I want to be further along or not, this is where I'm at, and I've got two choices. I can try and improve myself or try to change things that I dislike, or I don't, or I just continue the cycle that I'm already in. And when it came to talking about my chronic illness, when I integrated into normal life, as somebody that spent such a long time chronically ill, when I came out of it, I was so proud of myself. That proudness waned over time because it just became the new normal. But initially I was like, I've got to tell people, you know, I was telling everybody, whether they wanted to hear it or not. And I was hoping they'd have the same enthusiasm as me for getting healthy and living disease-free and living without these ailments, because it doesn't need to happen. And I was very proud of myself. I talked about everything. I was like, I had an addiction to porn. I was you know, chronically ill. I was getting kidney infections, and you know, didn't leave my house for years. I'd shock people. I'd be like, I've not left the house in 7 years, and they'd be like, you know, the way I was socializing, although not initially, but as time's gone on, like if I tell people now I was in my house for 7 years, chronically ill, they just can't put it together. And I'm quite proud of that turnaround that I managed to achieve. I never kept it secret from anyone. I think now I'm a bit more reserved. I know that a lot of people don't have that same enthusiasm. A lot of people that I've come across in my work or in my daily life that have chronic illness haven't got to that point yet where they want to change. they haven't found it in themselves that they deserve that change, whatever it is. So as much as I'd love to talk about health with people, I very rarely find anyone that has that same motivation to do what needs to be done to recover and give yourself a better life. And it's quite sad, really, especially as time goes now. We're heading for a train crash in terms of personal health. It's become normal to be sick, to have medications, to not feel good, and it's only going to get worse. And sometimes I'll go into houses and I see the children eating the worst type of, not even food, it's not food. And they've probably had antibiotics in their life, and I'm just looking at them thinking, you're gonna end up where I was. And I hope there's gonna be someone there to guide them. But I look at the parents and I think they're not going to have that guidance that they need to get out of it. I hope for anyone's sake that they don't have to. I can't even remember where I was going with this. Just that I've mellowed out a little bit and accepting that not everyone wants to change. But if you're somebody that wants to change, if you believe you are worth more, if you believe your life should be different, you want a better conscious experience, you don't want to suffer, as hard as it is, like I said in my last video, you've got to try and think positively, think in a positive way. It's never going to hurt your recovery. It's never going to hurt you to try, and keep steering that boat against the tides for the direction that you want to go. And you will get there. If you keep consistent at anything, you'll get there eventually. I mean, the fact that you're watching this video right now, or you've watched all my previous videos, shows me that you want to change. You're waiting for that click or that motivation. But I've found that motivation can be very fleeting. What you want to do is you want to write it down. What do I want? I want health. What are all the things that are good for me that will get me there? And you look at that plan every day and you go, I'm going to stick to this the best I can. And if I slip up, that's fine, because I'm better than I was yesterday. I'm following something better than I was the day before. Even if I slipped up on a few things, I'm going to keep getting up again and again. And you will get there eventually. You will get there, and you'll look back and it will just be a dream that you were ever chronically ill. And your life will be a better experience for it. Oh, rambling again. If you got any video requests, just let me know. And if you want to join the Discord server, I'll put the link in the description or in the comments. Alright guys, thank you very much for watching.